What happens when a faith as ancient as Islam finds its way into the heart of a nation known for its strict control over religion? How does a community thrive under the weight of government restrictions, cultural differences, and societal pressures? This is the story of China in 2024, a year that marked a silent but profound spiritual awakening for millions of Muslims across the country. It's a story of resilience, faith, and the unyielding human spirit. Stay with us, because what you're about to hear will challenge everything you thought you knew about Islam in China. China, a land of towering skyscrapers, ancient traditions, and a government known for its tight grip on every aspect of life, is not the first place that comes to mind when you think of a thriving Muslim community. Yet, in 2024, something extraordinary happened. Islam, a religion often misunderstood and misrepresented, began to flourish in ways no one could have predicted. From the bustling streets of Beijing to the remote villages of Xinjiang, Muslims in China found themselves at the center of a spiritual renaissance. Mosques that had stood quietly for centuries were now filled to capacity. The call to prayer echoed through neighborhoods where it had never been heard before. And during Ramadan, the holiest month in the Islamic calendar, the streets came alive with a sense of unity and devotion that was nothing short of miraculous. But this awakening didn't happen overnight. It was the result of years of quiet perseverance, of a community that refused to be silenced, and of a faith that proved stronger than any obstacle. This is the story of how Islam found its place in the heart of China, and how it continues to shine brightly in the face of adversity. The year 2024 began like any other in China. The streets were bustling, the economy was growing, and the government maintained its firm control over every aspect of life. But beneath the surface, something was stirring. For the Muslim community, it was a year of transformation, a year when faith became a beacon of hope in a world filled with uncertainty. It started with Ramadan. For Muslims around the world, Ramadan is a time of reflection, prayer, and community. But in China, it took on a new significance. Mosques that had once been quiet were now filled with worshippers, their voices rising in unison as they prayed late into the night. The sight was awe-inspiring. Men, women, and children, all coming together to celebrate their faith. One such mosque was the Nuji Mosque in Beijing, one of the oldest and most revered in the country. "I've never seen anything like it," says Imam Li, who has served at the mosque for over 20 years. Every night, the mosque was packed. People came from all over the city, some traveling for hours just to be here. It was as if the entire community had awakened. But this spiritual awakening was not without its challenges. China's government, known for its strict control over religion, had long viewed Islam with suspicion. In 2024, new regulations were introduced that further restricted religious practices. Mosques were required to align with core socialist values, and any form of religious expression deemed foreign or extremist was swiftly suppressed. For the Muslim community, these restrictions were a heavy burden. Mosques that wished to expand or renovate faced a labyrinth of bureaucratic hurdles. Architectural designs had to conform to traditional Chinese styles, and any features that hinted at Islamic identity, like minarets or domes, were often removed or replaced. "It was a difficult time," says Aisha, a young Muslim woman from Xinjiang. "We wanted to practice our faith freely, but we were constantly reminded that we had to do so within the limits set by the government. It felt like we were being asked to choose between our faith and our identity as Chinese citizens." Despite these challenges, the Muslim community in China refused to be silenced. They found creative ways to preserve their traditions and strengthen their faith. In cities like Beijing and Shanghai, Islamic learning centers began to spring up, offering classes on the Quran, Arabic, and Islamic history. These centers became hubs of education and community, attracting Muslims from all walks of life. One such center is the Al-Noor Islamic Center in Shanghai. "We wanted to create a space where people could learn about Islam in a way that was authentic and meaningful," says Yusuf, the center's founder. "Our classes are open to everyone, regardless of their background. We've had people from all over China come here to learn about Islam, and it's been incredible to see how much interest there is." The community also found ways to celebrate their faith through cultural events and festivals. The China Muslim Festival, held annually, became a showcase of Islamic culture and tradition. From art exhibitions to culinary delights, the festival offered a glimpse into the rich heritage of China's Muslim community. It also served as a bridge between Muslims and non-Muslims, fostering a sense of understanding and unity. By the end of 2024, the impact of this spiritual awakening was undeniable. The Muslim community in China had grown stronger and more vibrant than ever before. Mosques were filled with worshippers, Islamic centers were thriving, and the sense of community was palpable. But the changes went beyond numbers. The Muslim community had become a symbol of resilience and hope, a testament to the power of faith in the face of adversity. They had shown that even in a country as tightly controlled as China, it was possible to preserve one's identity and traditions. "We've come a long way," says Imam Li, "but this is just the beginning. Our faith is strong and our community is united. No matter what challenges we face, we will continue to shine." The story of Islam in China is not just about one community, it's about the universal struggle for religious freedom and the right to practice one's faith without fear. It's a reminder that faith, in its purest form, is a source of strength and unity, not division. This movement also raises important questions about the role of government in regulating religion. While it's important to maintain social harmony, it's equally important to respect the rights and freedoms of all citizens. The challenge lies in finding a balance between these two priorities, a balance that China, like many other countries, continues to grapple with. The Chinese government's approach to religion has been a topic of much debate. While some argue that strict regulations are necessary to maintain social stability, others believe that they infringe on basic human rights. The Muslim community in China has found itself at the center of this debate, navigating a complex landscape of restrictions and regulations. Yet, despite these challenges, the community has shown remarkable resilience. They have adapted to the changing landscape without sacrificing their faith, finding creative ways to preserve their traditions and strengthen their identity. Their story is a testament to the power of faith and the human spirit. The story of Islam in China is one of resilience, faith, and the unyielding human spirit. It's a reminder that even in the face of adversity, faith can flourish and communities can thrive. As China continues to navigate its complex relationship with religion, the Muslim community stands as a beacon of hope and a testament to the power of unity. And it was only just beginning. The dawn of this spiritual revival hinted at a future where faith and tradition could coexist with progress and modernity. The month of Ramadan in 2024 painted a vivid picture of Islam's resurgence in China, a country with a rich tapestry of cultural and religious history. Nowhere was this more apparent than at the New Jie Mosque in Beijing, one of the oldest and most significant mosques in the country. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the ancient city, the mosque came alive with the spirit of Ramadan. The courtyard, adorned with intricate Islamic calligraphy and geometric patterns, overflowed with worshippers, each bringing their own stories and traditions. Families, young and old, gathered together, creating a beautiful mosaic of generations united in faith. The air was thick with the aroma of spices and traditional delicacies, a sensory reminder of the rich cultural tapestry woven into the fabric of Chinese Islam. Stalls lined the streets, offering a variety of foods that blended Chinese and Islamic culinary traditions, showcasing the harmonious fusion of these two cultures. The sound of prayers reverberated through the air, a powerful symphony of devotion that transcended language and cultural barriers. It was a moment of unity, where differences were set aside, and the shared faith took center stage. The scene at New Jie Mosque was replicated across China, from the bustling metropolises to the quiet villages in the countryside. In every corner of the country, the spirit of Ramadan was palpable, a testament to the enduring strength of the Muslim community. The spirit of Ramadan was palpable, with community events and activities bringing people together in celebration and reflection. It was a testament to the community's commitment to their faith, even in the face of societal pressures and government scrutiny. Despite the challenges, the community remained steadfast, their faith unwavering. The act of fasting, of abstaining from food and drink from dawn till dusk, took on a deeper meaning, symbolizing resilience and devotion. It was a reminder of their shared faith, a collective act of worship that bound them together in a powerful way. The communal meals, the shared prayers, and the collective breaking of the fast were all moments of profound connection and unity. Ramadan in 2024 was more than just a religious observance. It was a celebration of identity, a visible manifestation of the Islamic revival sweeping through China. It was a celebration of identity, a time when Muslims proudly displayed their heritage and traditions. The revivalist activities and the construction of new mosques were clear indicators of a community that was not just surviving, but thriving. The sight of thousands of Muslims praying in unison, their voices echoing through the ancient streets, sent a powerful message. Their voices echoing through the ancient streets sent a powerful message of unity and resilience. Islam in China was not fading into obscurity. It was experiencing a vibrant, dynamic resurgence. The celebrations, the prayers, and the community events all pointed to a dynamic and thriving Muslim community, one that was embracing its identity with pride and confidence. The resurgence of Islam in China did not go unnoticed. This revival, marked by a renewed interest in religious practices and community gatherings, began to draw significant attention. The Chinese government, with its long history of tightly controlling religious practice, observed this trend with a wary eye. Their concern was not just about the growth of Islam, but about maintaining their grip on societal order. The specter of religious extremism, a global concern, fueled their anxieties. The government feared that unchecked religious fervor could lead to unrest or even radicalization. New regulations were introduced, ostensibly aimed at curbing illegal religious activities. These laws were framed as necessary measures to ensure national security and social harmony. These measures ranged from increased surveillance around mosques to restrictions on Islamic education. The presence of CCTV cameras became ubiquitous, and access to religious sites was tightly controlled. The reaction within the Muslim community was mixed. While some saw these actions as a direct attack on their faith, others viewed them as a continuation of long-standing policies. Some felt a sense of resignation, accustomed to navigating the tightrope of faith under the watchful gaze of the state. They had learned to adapt and find ways to practice their religion quietly. Others, particularly the younger generation, felt a simmering frustration. They were less willing to accept these restrictions and yearned for greater freedom. They yearned for the freedom to express their faith openly, without fear or constraint. This desire for religious expression was a powerful force within the community. The government's actions had unintended consequences. Instead of quelling the religious revival, they often intensified it. The restrictions, rather than dampening the spirit of the revival, seemed to have the opposite effect. Attendance at mosques increased and community gatherings became more frequent. They fostered a sense of solidarity within the Muslim community. The shared experience of facing restrictions brought people closer together. It pushed them to find innovative ways to practice their faith, to carve out spaces of spiritual expression within the confines of the system. Private study groups and home-based worship became more common. It was a testament to the adage that faith, like water, will always find a way. No matter how many barriers were put in place, the community found ways to keep their faith alive. The government's attempts to control the narrative inadvertently fueled the very sentiment they sought to suppress. Public expressions of faith became acts of quiet defiance. It underscored the enduring tension between the state's desire for control and the individual's yearning for spiritual freedom. This dynamic continues to shape the landscape of religious practice in China today. Despite the restrictions, the Muslim community in China displayed remarkable resilience. They found creative ways to preserve and promote their faith and traditions. Islamic centers and cultural festivals became vital hubs, offering a sense of community and belonging. These centers, often tucked away in bustling city streets or nestled in quiet neighborhoods, became more than just places of worship. They transformed into vibrant community centers, hosting a range of activities from religious classes and Quranic study circles to calligraphy workshops and traditional Islamic art exhibitions. It was in these spaces that the beauty and richness of Islamic culture were kept alive. Children learned about their heritage, their parents' generation passing down traditions that had survived for centuries. Cultural festivals, too, played a crucial role. Events like the Eid al-Fitr celebrations at the end of Ramadan and the Mawlid al-Nabi, commemorating the birth of Prophet Muhammad, became more than just religious observances. They transformed into grand celebrations of cultural identity. The streets would come alive with the sights, sounds, and aromas of traditional festivities. These festivals provided a platform for the Muslim community to showcase their heritage to the wider Chinese society. It was an opportunity to foster understanding, to break down stereotypes, and to build bridges of communication. As 2024 drew to a close, the Muslim community in China found itself at a crossroads. The year had been a testament to their enduring faith, their resilience in the face of adversity, and their unwavering commitment to preserving their cultural and religious identity. The government's attempts to curtail the influence of religion had inadvertently sparked a different kind of fire. It had ignited a sense of purpose, a renewed appreciation for their faith, and a desire to safeguard their traditions for future generations. The community, once disparate and somewhat resigned, was now more unified, more aware of its shared identity, and more determined than ever to navigate the complexities of faith in a rapidly changing China. They had learned to adapt, to find strength in their shared beliefs, and to carve out spaces of spiritual expression within the existing constraints. The year 2024 marked a turning point. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, no matter where you are or what challenges you face, faith can light the way. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.